Welcome back, guys. Now, today we're going to talk about what is generative AI really good for, right? So, for all the previous videos and what generative AI is and what are the different technologies and the vocabulary within that, listen to the previous videos. But then this one, we're going to talk specifically around what is it really good for. Now, as the name goes, generative AI is about generating new content. And that's what it's really good for. So Chat GPT, OpenAI's GPT models, the Llama model from Google, or Palm, for example, from Google, for example, Llama from Meta and Palm from Google, all of that does one thing really well, which is generating new content inspired by the content it is already trained on. Now, that generation could be used to generate new text, actual free-form flowing text, could be generating dialogue optimized text, so almost like a conversation. It could be used to generate images. It could be used to generate full complex reports with text and images. And it could be used to generate videos as well. Now, because of all that, what is really good and optimized for are generating reports. If you're writing emails, automatically writing personalized email given a context of an individual or a group or an audience, generating new ideas for a blog post, generating titles for a blog post, anything to do with digital content marketing. It's perfectly positioned to go make a huge disruptive change into the industry. The other thing it is really good and optimized to developing is generating code or software engineering. Now, everybody complains about AI taking jobs away, and especially the robots taking jobs away from the factory workers and stuff. Well, I think the biggest impact of jobs lost due to AI, and specifically due to generative AI, is going to be software engineering. And because given English prompt, it will turn and generate code in different coding languages. Microsoft has this capability called Copilot on GitHub. GitHub is owned by Microsoft. So you can start coding in their Microsoft Visual Studio. And then as you go through it, there is recommendations and suggestions provided by the generative AI on how to write code, how to write the code better, how do you define certain functions and so forth. And it goes to an extent right now that you can go to Chat GPT and go saying, I want to launch a website or a web application with these three services. This is the input, this is the output, this is the kind of data, this is the kind of architecture. And by the way, optimize it for deployment into Amazon Web Services using CloudFormation. And it will generate all the code necessary, package it ready for you. You're going to ask questions, go back and forth. And you just built an application that would have otherwise taken maybe an individual or a span of a week to go build, deploy, develop, and test it. So, in a weird sort of way, the biggest risk of jobs, of the kind of jobs with generative AI, is for software engineering. And then lastly, the implications of this is huge, because think about it. The English becomes the most popular programming language in the universe. And anyway, this segment is about the use cases. What is generative AI good for? So generating text, generating images, generating videos, generating code. What is it not good for is all the other narrower tasks that are really optimized for in traditional machine learning, like classification, like named entity recognition on a piece of text, or object identification. I mean, it's good enough, so it actually makes a huge impact in some of these large language models. But generative models, specifically the ones that are generating new content, is optimized for generating content. It is not optimized for doing those, what is now considered really low complexity tasks, but it's actually pretty high complexity when you go to regulated industries like healthcare and financial services. Those are not what generative AI models are optimized for. I hope you enjoy this segment. We'll talk again soon.